paint one of the red little sisters, which I think they are called the Bloody Roses. That's why they're red, right? Makes sense. So Bloody Rose, it's one of the good ones too. One of the played ones, I think. And because we don't want to mess around too much, and painting sisters implies usually painting 50 around 50 of them. We're gonna start on our black primer here. Sure, you could use with red brown, but I think if you have an airbrush, you can start on black, and it's gonna work out fine. I did a bunch of Eldars this way. They look nice. They look ballin'. So we're gonna use the black here, and then Mephiston red with the airbrush. I'm gonna give it a little shake. So go from there, and we're just gonna go like slowly. And again, so I'm moving up and down, but not really angling my sister. So the top is going to be very, very red right now, and the bottom is going to be very, very black. So if we stop here, you see like this is all black and this is all red. So that's maybe a little bit too much, right? Nobody wants that much contrast in there, so we're going to give it just a slight angle now. So we'll keep doing the exact same thing, but now we got like a slight little angle. So now it's mostly black. And like, then we can like give it like a wider angle and just try to get like these areas that we want to. So I wanted that foot here, that little foot. So I'm really just going for the foot, just to say that it's not fully black, because I don't think it makes much sense. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing we just did with Evil Sun Scarlet. So now obviously we're going to do the exact same thing, but now we're going to give it much less angle. Now we really want this to just be a highlight. So like this. So now we got like a big contrast going on from the top of the bright red to the bottom that's black. So we got this here. So now we can highlight this if we want to. We can edge highlight, which I think is going to look nice. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add just a couple of edge highlights. Same color, Mephiston red. But this time we're going to highlight with it instead of airbrushing it. So now we get to do all of these little... started off really bad here. So now you can do like as little or as much as you want to. I tend to be pretty minimalistic with the highlights. I think if you place just a few highlights in the right places, will get you a much better result than like highlighting everything like a crazy person. It's also going to be much quicker, which is always nice. Take our time here. Alright, that looks decent. Maybe just the color. So now we got some like this here. So now a couple of highlights. You can, it crisps up everything. All of these places that were otherwise a little bit messy, because the airbrush, it works. It works, but it's not like the most precise tool, regardless of what you do with it. So adding these extra little highlights, that's really where it's at. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take black and we're gonna do the cape here, the cloaks, because there's multiple cloaks, like so. Kind of be careful around everything else, because I really don't want to touch up the red so much. I'm gonna be careful. We're gonna paint this. This is gonna look nice. Now either we go for a lot more white, so we can do like a bunch of these details in white, like the eagle on the shoulder plate and the fleur de lis and everything, or we do them silver, and that's kind of interesting. However, which leaves kind of the question of what to do with the hair if we don't put white on the model. because even though the air is kind of like white, I guess for lore purposes, it's gonna look weird if that's the only thing that's white on our little gal. So we sort of have to plan around this. Now, obviously, we could do the air black and save us the trouble. So silver, we're gonna use gunmetal because it's we have it around. Oh, I should have done the little cables here in black. We'll get back to it. For all of the cables and everything. And we'll do, she has like a little bionic eye, this one, so. Sorority sisters, yeah. That's a much better, that way we can tie in the air with the rest of the sister model. It doesn't have to stick out or be black for some reason. I think a big perks of like a big key feature of like most sisters is the white hair. So we're gonna try to stick to that thing. All right, so yeah, so touch up the silver. So now adding the cables in black. Sorry, got sidetracked here. Let's add the little cables in black. There we go. And there's also these ones here. All right, there we go. So now let's once this is done here, we'll do the face right now. Again, the face with Sister Val, I think if your mall is not glued in together, you are in luck. They're all much easier to do separately. Nothing, nothing crazy, nothing overboard. But you have to make it. So, nothing fancy. This is just like a bunch of base coats added on there. Let's finish that one. So we'll just add like just a quick highlight with Kislev flesh on that face. And again, there's not a lot of face anyway, so it's not gonna be that big of a. So for the black, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take Dark Reaper, which is a bluish gray, and we're gonna highlight with this. So we're just gonna highlight everything here, everything in the black. And then if you feel more like dry brushing, go right ahead. This is fine to dry brush as well. It's gonna give you a nice little transition. Let's do a couple of shading. So we'll start with brown here, so Grok's Earth Shade, and we'll just do the face here with this. Nothing crazy. But we'll do this now because we don't really want to have a Grok's Earth Shade into the white of the hair. So we'll and be very careful, like especially around this like red. We don't really want the black wash on top of the red. So I'm gonna start here with this just a little bit. Now I'm being very careful. So we're gonna take our time here to do all of this correctly. And a little further this down here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Ultron Gray, and we're gonna just like basically just do everything we just did with the Mechanicus Standard Gray. Okay, that's a nice one. And then same thing here. Literally dot the eye. There we go. Alright, cool. So now we have a little sister all done, all shiny. And the only thing left is to change it to a non-red base. Oh, what a dummy. Dummy. Texture of the model and the actual red of the armor. So I really dig this scheme. I think a big